Happy new spiral, lovelies. It's Friday, February the 3rd, 2023. And we've moved the blue tack from the bottom of the screen. Here, yellow cosmic sun. And we're starting a brand new spiral, which is here, which is red magnetic dragon. The planet is Neptune. We're awakening to what the Great Mother is bringing us for our cosmic evolution. And we're looking at our delusions, our illusions, what isn't in alignment with truth. The next 13 days, it's going to be a really powerful spiral in Aquarius sun, and the sun is at the 14th degree today in Aquarius, which corresponds with the next wave spell of White Wizard. So we begin with Red Dragon, then we go into White Wizard to refine the first 13 days. But let's stick to the first 13 days. First 13 days is going to really awaken us to what we're going to be working with the whole 260 days. I have done some cards today. I will post links underneath to all the degrees as well. And I'm not going to post links to all of the cards, but you can Google that as to what they mean. Red Earth, which is key for me because whenever I do a 13-day cycle in red, my red is red earth and what I was awakening to. So again, today I am revisiting when I was 18 years old. And this whole 13 days will be taking me through my 18 to 30s, which back at that time, there was a holiday company called 18 to 30s. I don't know if they're still around today, but yeah, it was a very powerful time for me. And the more you know about your code, the more you can work out and align with what is streaming for you. The thought cards today, I decided to do 13 for each day. And the first card for today begins with the Hanged Man. I used to do this a long time ago. I've not done it for years, but I just thought intuitively this is what I needed to do. Okay, so this is a very powerful card, looking at things from a different angle in one respect. It can mean distortions, it can mean cruelty, and that we are having to go through a very challenging time because most human beings are holding distortions. Well, we're all holding distortions on some level because that's the time that we've beamed into. So the structure of this is such a deep, deep card, and you can see the Ankh there. And again, the Ankh is very different to the cross. So if you haven't checked that out yet, that's a great area to explore as well. That's a key rather than an open-ended energy. The cross in the natal chart is very significant because it's the ascendant and the descendant and the IC and the MC in the natal chart. These are very key places to look at what's coming in for conscious awareness, what's going out. That's the ascendant and the descendant in this lifetime. Our stairway to heaven, the IC, the fourth home, the family, the mother, the summer solstice. And the fourth house is very key today, 4 on every 13-day cycle, year 4, because that's self-existing, where we become free of codependency and unhealthy emotional dependency. That's what it is, really. So in order to do that, we have to learn how to become emotionally free in a healthy way, feel all our emotions, but let go of these old stories from the past, our survival stories. That's what we're going to be looking at in this first 13 days. The universe will be showing us what's coming in. In terms of the moon today, we've got an out of bound moon in Cancer, which means all rules are off. I will put a link to that. So where people are feeling very emotional and fed up with what's happening in their life, on the planet, our society, that is looking to be restructured, we're getting very useful and difficult lessons a lot of the time at the moment as well about that, as to what doesn't feel good in the home. And these repeating patterns just come until we personally decide enough is enough, and we are going to evolve personally, and we are going to heal and learn how to create good boundaries in relationship and live our starseed dream. So key now. It's what we came here for. So 22 degrees, the master builder code in numerology, structure, rewiring all of that. And Ceres has also gone retrograde in Libra today at 6 degrees. And actually, I'm not sure if it's exactly today or it's coming up. So I will put a link to that as well. I've been looking at so much code recently, I can't remember the exact date, but I know there's a very key date coming up. Yes, that's on the full moon in Leo, which is on blue electric night day. So the full moon in Leo at 16 degrees, which is on the 5th. Very, very powerful moon that we're going to be feeling that heartfelt emotion around our journey and what matters to us, and bringing new light there. So Ceres will be in opposition to Jupiter in Aries at 6 degrees. Yeah, that's the right day. On that same day. So we'll be experiencing an awareness of what's coming to light, expanding new beginnings for us around how we nurture and take care of ourselves, because in many aspects of society, we don't live in a caring society at the moment. So this also ties in as well with, I've just written down the cycles. So it goes in 5-year cycles, this 260-day program of evolution. So when it's been in Aquarius, it has been 2008, 2013, 2018, 2023. And then if you look at what was happening then, this also helps make sense of some of the transits that are happening now and gives us a heads up to repeating patterns and cycles, no matter what people say. So you might hear all sorts of different conflicting views about what's happening in the world, about recession, financial issues that match 2008, for example. But you can just see that there is a repeating pattern there. So that helps us to have a heads up. If you add these numbers up, 2008 equals number 10, 2013 equals number 6, 2018 equals number 11, and 2023 equals number 7. So in 2008, we were seeing what was manifest. In 2013, we were seeing what needed to come into balance. In 2018, we were seeing what needed to be released. And 2023, shape your destiny with this conscious awareness now. Because remember, we're moving into the age of Aquarius. We've got Pluto in Aquarius happening in March and going in and out, where it will go in 2024 in December. So we're seeing how we need to become self-existing, self-sustainable, healthy, whatever, wherever, where we need to do the work to create that guide. That's got to be our guide. To be solution focused, let go of the victim, let go of blaming others, and just really start to walk our path now. Not just talk it, we've got to walk it. It's time for that. So regardless of all these negative energies that are happening, they're also giving us a big cosmic push, because often things have to get really bad before we do that, because that's the nature of human beings. Okay, so second day we have got white lunar wind, and this is 3 of discs work. So again, do the inner work. Number 3, what needs to be done? Grounded, practical, inside. Where do I need to make some changes within me? Where do I need to heal this emotional conflict? And look at my behavior, look at how I can start to create something else. On the 3rd day of when we've got the full moon, we have got the 4 of Swords. And this is truth. So again, how can we come into surrender on one level and heal and accept what has happened to us and learn from it, and keep fighting it and fighting others. We need to come into peace as much as we can in order to create new ways of living. On day 4, we have got yellow self-existing seed. And again, we've got 4 of discs, power. That's an amazing mandala on there as well. So coming into our power, how do we create that power up from within? So we've been having lots of power struggles, literally. And remember, the universe has to play out this dynamic that reflects what we believe to be true, that reflects our inner world. And so the more you focus on your own power, taking your power back, remember we're in a 13-year cycle of White Wizard, which is showing us wherever we feel disempowered, where the magic isn't flowing. So of course, these things are going to be coming up. On day 5, we have got luxury. How does it feel to experience luxury? That's the 4 of Cups. And that is the overtone day. So we've got 4 days of structure. Then we've got the mastery day, which is red overtone serpent. On day 6, we have got lust. And day 6 is white world bridger. So we're looking at how we come and power that up from the heart. What are we passionate about? What makes our heart sing? What gets those radiant circuits flowing energetically? If you haven't heard of radiant circuits, Google that, check that out. Radiant circuits really help us plug in to joy and help us shift any stagnancy. So doing things that we really love creates that flow. Okay, day 7, which is blue hand, shaping our destiny. And this again is a powerful card, indolence. And you can see that's a pretty stagnant picture there. And that's, I think, if I remember rightly, this is linked to Saturn in Pisces, which is coming in. I'll have to check that out. I'm not sure if that's correct. No, actually, it's I'm trying to think of the one that actually is linked to Saturn in Pisces. But anyway, hold that thought. It's not this one, and I'm doing this in a very speedy fashion, so I've got limited time today to do this. So, but We can Google that and see what that is. But you can see from the picture that there's just energy there that's not being integrated. So again, we're stuck in the old emotional story, and that's what needs to shift. Because if we don't shift that energetically, we don't shift that emotionally, then we've got beliefs that are tied in with those events. And so we just keep doing the same old, same old. On day 8, which is yellow star, we have the Fool. And day 8, we integrate the previous 13-day cycle of yellow star that we've just completed yesterday. So how can we be open to what the universe is bringing us and be the star that we really are through integration, and not be foolish in terms of making choices that come from fear or ignorance, naivety. This is such a key card. The Green Man, of course, as well, which is coming up with the spring equinox. Then on day 9, which is the gateway day, we have red solar moon, Princess of Discs. And so again, going back to Demeter energy, and so when we were young, how can we expand on that real light energy of connection to the earth before we had any abductions, or going back to the beauty of innocence as well. And also, how can we be practical? How can we take those steps in order to become the Queen of Discs, where we're in our sovereignty? So that's day 9, which is red moon, red solar moon. And what a powerful energy red solar moon is, coming into our authenticity, being the beacon of light. We're still in resonant moon at the moment, and we're due to go into galactic moon in this wave spell. So focusing on what resonates with authenticity, being the beacon of light, being in alignment with truth. We know what that is. We've got Mercury is going into Aquarius on the 11th of February during this wave spell as well. So this is going to be a very powerful time of messenger from our higher self around thoughts, belief systems, structures that are going to align with the Aquarius age that's coming in. Day 10, we have worry. Mastery of what creates worry in our mind. And if you use emotional freedom technique, you can work with that energy rather than trying to suppress it, breathe through it, watch it. You can actually work with it to understand where it's come from as well. But most of all, when we have worry, these are fear emotions. They are very disempowering in a lot of ways because they're not grounded. They are just thoughts that are being projected out based on past events with the intention of keeping us safe in some ways. We're getting red flags coming in. But if we go into feeling the emotion rather than trying to figure it out, and if we tap as we are feeling it, we start to release this, we soothe ourselves. We don't need to do any addictions. We don't need to do any avoidance. And we will learn from our unconscious mind, from our past events, why we are having these thoughts. And as we come into a clear space, we have more clarity, and we can make a very different energetic decision that's coming from that clearer space. And after tapping, if we're still not sure, we can just wait, and then we can just keep tapping until we get some clarity. So not allowing our fear to make us rush into things. Okay, so that's card number 10. White dog, ancestral patterns, usually why we have fear. And until we start getting really clear about these ancestral patterns and actually clearing them, our holograph is going to be showing us a lot of these drama plays. This is the 10th house in the chart, and so traditionally this is Capricorn, this is the patriarchy, this is our father issues, our authority issues, links in with Pluto. Very, very powerful energy, and what we are here to come into balance with through clearing, healing, and creating a new earth for ourselves. So on day 11, spectral, we have blue monkey, all our childhood issues, how we have been misparented, taught things that aren't truth. Maybe you felt like an alien growing up because you're so different to the people around you. And so this energy, ruin, the 10 of Swords, the manifestation of ruin. Again, some people see this as an actual death in the family, in your circle in some way. I see it as understanding how we manifest ruin, how we keep repeating the same patterns, because we have these energetic links to the past that are seeking to be healed and cleared. And until we do that, we do keep repeating them because it's just the nature of things. It's how we evolve, it's how we get to the next level. And it can be an arduous journey at times. This is where we are on the planet right now. This is why we chose to come here. All the tools are out there. We can learn them. We can help each other do this process, but each individual does have to do this for themselves and go back over the ruin, heal it, clear it, and start creating new paths. That's what Red Earth is all about, creating new pathways. Okay, number 12. And number 12 is yellow human, is the human being part of us. And we have Knight of Wands. The human being grail carries our spirit in it. The more we heal the human being of the ancestral stories, the more our higher self can guide us, the more we can trust our intuition, the more we can trust ourselves because we're making good decisions that are coming from a cleared, empowered, connected to source space. And on day 13, which is a really amazing energy day, so bear that in mind because we've got a beautiful conjunction coming up. This, by the way, just realizing, is on Valentine's Day. And this is on day 13, which is Red Skywalker. And having valor to act and to do this work. Number 7 of Wands is doing this heart healing work, being able to face these stories from our past that we may not be proud of, that we may be ashamed of, we may feel guilt, etc. Emotional freedom technique will help us clear that. It works. It's very dynamic. And the Skywalker, that's it. We are the conduit. If you look at the glyph of Gemini, we've got Mars in Gemini now today at 10 degrees, where it's going direct. Everything's going direct apart from Ceres. And so this is where we need to go. So the way that I see the Aries retrograde is Our mind will pull us forward. The energy is being pulled forward. We have to be mindful that we are limited in terms of human being capacity, and not to try and overdo it, to try and keep ourselves in balance, to live a well-rounded life. And so although the urge may be, to go ahead at full steam with these plans, remember at this time of year, we've just had in bulk. It's not all systems go until the spring equinox. We're in that halfway house now, where it's more about starting to line everything up. So it's get in the chariot, hold your horses and wait until that energy is supporting us. Make sure you get plenty of rest, because it's going to be a big issue if you don't. It's more like running a marathon rather than a short sprint. We go into a very powerful year on the 26th of July, and we have lots of things coming to light now about our society, about how things have been managed since 2020 and how that has affected us all. So let me just see if there's anything else I want to say about. Yes, let me just read the 22 degrees of Cancer. Bunches of watercress growing by a cool spring, spacious, making room for worlds to be born, new life to arise, the fount of existence to be tapped, the centre of things to become vital again. A global sensibility, a universal dream, a brotherhood, sisterhood vision to repopulate the world with vital, fresh beings, to find the place inside that is sustaining and renewing, and to give it forth abundantly. A certain spirit of destiny breakthrough, something differently previously unsuspected. Diving for the eternal waters, and here they are if they're called in at full power. The one given the task to refocus the shared aspiration to bring us all together. You have an utterly engaging quality that cannot be denied once it fully arises with the most memorable of touches and looks. The presence of the great goddess force at every level, accessible if dreamed up and invited in, the cracking through at the peak time and place, all is revitalized, everything forgotten, comes on the spiral to the next octave and is released into the celebration of being. How perfect is that? Totally perfect. So if you're doing this with EFT and you're working every day, so remember in the first 8 days, you're working with aligning with that energy of what it's bringing you. So if you haven't got a calendar yet, you need to get one. If you want one, off my website, I have a link. You can just download it, print it, and if you wish, laminate it yourself, and you start to move that blue tack down. If you do that, this is so powerful, I can't tell you how powerful it is. That's all you need to do. Tune in intuitively, and then every day see what comes to you, because this is a synchronizer. It's synchronizing us with the universal patterns. It's getting us back into the flow and the dynamic. And your path each day will be unique to you. So you can, for example, find out what your mind sign is. You can find out what year you're on. You can have a reading about that. And so on and so on and so on. You can do your own research. You can see what's coming in. And most importantly, if you're working with EFT, you can see what your triggers are. Remember, this first 13 days is super powerful for awakening to what survival issues we have. So remember, the problem is also the solution. Pay attention. Get a manual for yourself, start writing things down as to what's incoming, and go from there. So I wish you an amazing, amazing first 13 days. Lots of love. Bye from now.